Since I started my new Sims 2 Let's Play, I've received a lot of questions about rotational gameplay. What is it? How does it work? How do I handle it in my game? And why would you want to play that way? So in this video, I'm answering all of your questions about playing rotationally. Rotational gameplay is when you play all of the families in a single neighborhood in order rotationally. Some people are very loose with their definition of rotation and they just jump around from family to family. I don't really consider that rotational gameplay. What I mean is playing each family for the same amount of time in order so that the same amount of time passes in your neighborhood from when you start your rotation until you end it. So let me show you what I mean. When I start a new neighborhood in The Sims 2, I create a spreadsheet like this one. You can download this spreadsheet on my website at PleasantSims.com, and I'll put a link down in the description box. I have empty ones if you want to fill it in for your own neighborhood, or I have the base game neighborhood spreadsheets already filled in for you like this one. So I write down the name of the household and I list all of the Sims who currently live in the household. Here is an early Pleasant View spreadsheet. So Dawn and Cassandra live together. I put their last name, first name, their role in the household, which is either founder, wife, son, cousin, roommate, whatever, their age, their zodiac sign, aspiration, lifetime want, career, level in their career, their job, their hobby, their bills, how much is in their bank account, and any notes. And you could add pretty much anything that you want to keep up with this. You don't have to keep up with as much as I do, or you can keep up with more. You could just list the name of the household and keep up with it that way if you're not the kind of person who likes to do spreadsheets. But this is what I personally like to do so I can keep up with all the Sims in my neighborhood and I know what everybody's up to. The first column of my spreadsheet is called rotation. So when I get to the Lothario household, I will play them for the specified amount of time. 7 days is a common amount of time that people play rotationally for one sim week, or you might want to play just for 1 day or 4 days or a season or whatever. You can come up with your own length of time that you like to play each family. After I play this family for that amount of time, let's say I'm going to play the Lothario family for 1 week. I've played them for their week, then I come back in here and I put 1 in the rotation and I know that I'm done with rotation 1. Now I move on to the next household. I go on and I play the Goth family. I'll play them for 7 days. Rotation 1 done. Then I go and play the Caliente family. I play that family for 7 days. Rotation 1 done. And I go all the way down the line until I've played all the families in the neighborhood. Once everyone has a 1 next to their name, I start over at the top and I play Lothario again for 1 week. Then I change the number 1 to 2. So I'm on rotation 2. If you hear me in my videos say I'm on round 2 or round 3 or round 5, this is what that means. 1 round is when all the families have been played for the specified amount of time. Now, what about when you get new families that you need to add? When Sims grow up, move out on their own, and have children, if you play for long periods of time like I do, that's going to happen to you in your neighborhoods. Then I just come down to the very bottom and I add the family on. Let's say we're gonna add a new Broke family because Angela and Dustin got married. So I would just add them on here, Broke Dustin, Broke Angela, and then I would begin playing them at the end of the current round. If I had already played all the other families once, I would put a 1 here. This family is going to be played first on the second round. Now, what about university? What about when you send your Sims off to university? I keep up with them in the same way. At the very bottom of my spreadsheet, I have a household called university. Anytime I'm playing through my rounds and a Sim goes to university, like let's say Dustin goes off to university, then I'm gonna bring him down here to the university household. When I get to the very end of the current round, whichever Sims have been moved to the university round will be played in university at the end of the round. University takes about 8 days in my game, but I just count that as a week, as a Sim week. In The Sims 2, since Sims are only young adults when they're in university, it doesn't really matter that much. Keeping up with your Sims' ages in university is a little bit trickier. If all your Sims come back to the home neighborhood after they've graduated from university, they'll all be exactly the same age. They'll all be starting out on the first day of adulthood. But what if they weren't the same age before? What if Angela and Lilith went to college on Monday and Dustin went on Tuesday and Dirk went on Wednesday? In my game, that would make them 3 days or 3 years apart in age. So how do you simulate that when you get back to to the neighborhood. The most important thing that I do is keep track of the day that my Sims go to university. So in my notes over here, or you may even want to do a new tab in your spreadsheet, or just write it down, or however you keep up with your stuff. I will keep up with generation 1, and I'll type each Sim's name: Angela, Lilith, Dustin, and Dirk. I'll put Wednesday. I'm making this up. I don't remember when they go to college. And we'll say Dustin goes Thursday and Dirk goes on Friday. So they're all within 4 days of each other. Any Sims that go to college together within 4 days of each other, I consider them to be in a generation together, because they're going to go to college together, they're going to graduate together, and they're pretty much going to be what's available for marriage material for that group. So because in my world, 1 day equals 1 year, and in university, 2 days equals 1 year, 2 days equals 1 college semester. This is how I handle the aging. Angela and Lilith will go to college first because they were the first ones to go on a Wednesday. They will go to college first, and I will play them for 1 full semester. After the first semester's over, then I will move Dustin in with them, or into the dorms, or wherever. I will play Dustin, Angela, and Lilith for another semester, and then I will move Dirk in. This way everybody comes in the year that they should come into college. I really hope this makes sense. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not that bad. If you just keep up with the day they go to college, you know that Angela and Lilith are going to be there for 1 semester alone. Then Dustin is going to be there in the 2nd semester, and then Dirk will come in the 3rd semester. And then you'll play everybody out until they graduate or drop out. And then you'll move them back to the neighborhood, where they will be sitting here in the sim bin waiting for you to put them into a lot. But they're still all going to be the same age, because they're still all going to be moving back to Pleasant View at exactly the same time, even though you staggered them in college. So here's how I handle that. I move in my Sims who graduated university. I move them into wherever I'm moving them into, the flop house, an apartment, back with their parents, wherever they're gonna go, and I play them until their ages sync up before I go back and start over with the first family in the next rotation. Now this is where it can get tricky, but it's not that hard if you keep track of everything. So Angela and Lilith are 2 years older than Dirk, are 2 sim days older than Dirk. I don't know if this is accurate. Once again, I'm just making up these numbers for an example. Okay, so let's say Angela and Lilith are 2 days older than Dirk and 1 day older than Dustin. This means I will place Angela and Lilith down in a lot, either separately or together. If I will probably place them separately, each into their own apartment, and I will play them for a total of 2 days. Then I will move Dustin in, and I will play him for a total of 1 day, since he is 1 day older than Dirk. And then I will move Dirk in, and I will not play him at all. And then everyone's ages will be synced. Angela and Lilith will be 2 days older than Dirk, 1 day older than Dustin, and Dustin will be 1 day older than Dirk. Have I lost you? Have I lost you at this point? After I've played the university Sims for the required number of days to sync up their ages, I add them as their own individual households on the spreadsheet. For example, let's say Lilith gets her own place, so we're going to add her as a separate family. Maybe Dustin and Angela got engaged in college, so we're going to move them in together, so we'll make a broke family with Dustin and Angela, and then we'll make a dreamer family. Dirk is moving in by himself as well. I will remove their names from the university household, and I will add the number 1 next to everyone's name, because everyone's been played for their first round, their university round. University is empty, and then I will move back to the top, and I will start over with the Lothario family, and I'll go back down through the rotations. If I have anybody in university, at the end, I'll do the same. I'll send them to university, bring them back, play them as necessary to get their ages synced with the other students, and then start over at the top. So that is how I play rotationally in The Sims 2. If you were playing The Sims 4, I believe you could do something very similar, except university would not work the same way. Because of the way that university is in The Sims 4, you'd probably have to play all of your university Sims together as one household. And the way I would do that is just move them all into one household together and then play them in university until they graduated. And I would probably use a shorter university mod. That's how I would do it if I was going to play The Sims 4. I don't play The Sims 4, so that's the best advice I can give you. So why would somebody want to play this way? Why would you want to go to all this trouble, as someone once said to me, to play The Sims? Well, to me, I don't consider this trouble. I consider this fun. I like to play full neighborhoods, every family in the neighborhood. I like to play it like a soap opera that I watch every day, keeping up with all the family stories, integrating them together, watching the generations play out. That is how I enjoy playing The Sims. Some people just like to load up a family and torture them to death and quit. But that's not how I like to play. I like to care for my families and watch the neighborhood as a whole grow. That is what I find fun. I don't like playing challenges. I don't like playing one single family at a time. I like to play the game as a whole neighborhood. And that is what rotational gameplay is for. So, okay, if you buy that, next question is, well, why does it matter if you play them for the same amount of time? And why do you go to all the trouble to sync up their ages? Well, to me, if I go over here and play the broke family for 2 weeks, and then I go over here and play the Dreamer family for 1 day, that's not going to make any sense. Their ages are not going to sync up. The seasons aren't going to be the same. It bothers me personally. I don't like that. I wouldn't like for Lilith and Dirk to be 80 years old while Angela was still a teen. You know, it doesn't make sense to me in my mind. So that's why I like to play rotationally, so I can just keep the whole neighborhood moving and growing at the same pace. That's how I find it most enjoyable. And keeping a spreadsheet, it just makes the whole task easier. Before I kept spreadsheets, I used to keep notebooks that I just wrote in. I do still keep a notebook for notes. Each time I play a family, I have a little note page that I keep, and then I transfer any information into the spreadsheet after the round is over, such as their ages, any change in hobby, change in money, or just anything that I need to put into the spreadsheet. Change in jobs, if they get promoted, I will transfer all that at the end of the round. This is also why I prefer The Sims 2 over The Sims 3. Well, it's one of the reasons why I prefer The Sims 2 over The Sims 4. But Sims 2 is the easiest game in which to control everyone in your neighborhood. You don't have to worry about your Sims aging up when you're not there, getting pregnant when you're not there, progressing in your career. The household just stays exactly the same. When you leave a household, when you come back to it later, everything is exactly the same as when you left it. And I do mean exactly the same. Like, your Sim will be standing in exactly the same place as you left them when you were last in this lot. And even if you see them around town, like if you're playing another lot and you see your Sims around town, they are still accumulating relationships or skills or whatever they're doing around town, but nothing important will happen in their lives without you being there to witness it. Pregnancies, engagements, marriages, births, promotions at work, all of that stuff is saved just for you, so you can see everything that happens in your Sims' lives. And to me, that just makes me so much more attached to my Sims, because I'm there for everything, every aspect of their life. Their household funds will not change while you aren't playing them, unless they go to a community lot and buy something while you have that community lot loaded, which I think is really cool in The Sims 2. If you're interested in playing rotationally, but it seems a little overwhelming to you, start with a really small neighborhood like Veronaville, or maybe even a custom neighborhood that you create yourself. Start with just playing 3 families and get a feel for it. And I promise you, before long, you'll be ready. You'll be ready to move on and play all the different families. It keeps you from getting bored. I never get bored with this game. I think the reason why I've been able to play it for so many years, literally I've been playing The Sims 2 for 13 years, and never has more than a month or 2 gone by that I haven't played the game. And since I've been doing my YouTube, I've played it almost daily. And the way that I don't get bored is I move from family to family. I find that playing legacies, especially playing a single family, just gets so boring to me. You just get tired of playing the same family, at least I do. And so right about the time that I start to get a little bored or ready to move on, it's time for me to go to the next family and see what's going on there. And it just keeps you engaged. It keeps the game interesting and fresh for you. Pleasant View is a really fun neighborhood to play rotationally, and I have progressed my Pleasant View a lot, which you will probably know if you've been watching my latest Let's Play. I think I'm almost in the 4th generation. So now let's talk about what if you want to add a populated subhood. And I am talking primarily about Blue Water Village. So I did add Blue Water Village to my Pleasant View. If I was going to start a Pleasant View today, I probably would not do that. You can download a Blue Water Village as a main neighborhood instead of a subhood, and I would probably play it all on its own. But I did add it to Pleasant View early in my game, so it's there now. What I have done with these families is I just add them in as I need them. So I've been playing the Ramirez family in Blue Water Village and also the Landgrab family in Blue Water Village. When I get ready to add a new family in, such as the Ramirez family, I would just once again go down to the bottom of my spreadsheet and add in the Ramirez, and then I would just start playing them from there. If I needed a specific sim from a family, let's say I needed Tessa Ramirez, I needed her because I needed a child in her generation because we didn't have a potential match for one of my born in-game sims. Then I might add the family earlier. I might add them, let's say, right before the Burb family, in the hopes that Tessa might be a marriage partner for one of the Burb's children. You might notice a theme here if you're familiar with my Pleasant View. I don't know why I'm typing Burb. So I might add the Ramirez here and then just start playing them. It doesn't really matter where you add in a new family. Like if they're like a brand new family from a subhood, it really doesn't matter where you stick them in. If you're not sure, just add them, stick them on the end, or you might want to add them in somewhere in between your other families. Eventually in my Pleasant View, I will be bringing in the Tinker family, which I know, there they are, the Tinker family. I'm waiting until I need a teenage girl. I need that fresh blood, because one thing is your Sims will all become related pretty quickly, so you have to figure out how you're going to deal with that. Either adding in a subhood, having them get together with university pre-made Sims, or marrying in townies. You're going to have to do something, because especially if you start with a small town like Pleasant View, everybody's going to be related soon. As soon as I have need of a teenager, we're going to be bringing in the Tinker family. So that's pretty much everything I can think of in regards to playing The Sims rotationally. I hope this was of some help to you, gave you some ideas or some inspiration, even if you don't follow my particular method, which I know is very thorough. It's very thorough. Even if you don't follow my thorough method, maybe you can still find a way to play rotationally that's fun for you. So I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Are you a rotational player? Do you like to play whole neighborhoods like I do? Or do you just like to play a single family and you find this too overwhelming? I would love to know. And also, if you are a rotational player, do you use a method similar to mine? How long are your rotations? Do you keep a spreadsheet? Leave a comment and let us know your method, because that might help someone else too. My name is Cindy, and I will see you with a new video very soon. Thank you so much for watching.